Where is the money? Where is it? Where are the opportunities? The green economy, what is that? Who is looking after it? Can you show me some people looking after that for us so that we can go and talk to them and make business? Those are valid questions. I'm sure you've been asking yourself this, right? And I've been doing my best to provide you answer here and there. But guess what? On the back of the conference I just attended, the Regional Green Economy Forum in Tangier, Morocco, I'm able to give you a lot more response, better response. That's why you want to stick around because I'm going to be showing you that as part of my feedback around this conference. Okay? See you in a minute. Hey guys, how are you doing? My name is Tony. I'm the founder here of Renewables in Africa. What we do is very simple. We raise awareness about renewables energy and also sustainability. If you want to tap into African markets, we are your eco bridge and we can help you with three things: visibility, lead, and deals. Or if you tell me, hey Tony, I'm actually want to tap into sustainability. Don't worry, we also the eco bridge for that. So we can help you how you can tap into that. And if you're looking for services like carbon footprint, carbon assessment, we can definitely support anything carbon. Reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk to you. Now, I just wrap up this conference at in Tangier, Morocco. In fact, I'm still in Tangier, Morocco, so I'm just on my way soon. But I couldn't leave without giving you this feedback because I know it's so much important, right? You've been asking questions all the times. The green economy, what is it? Because you want to touch it, feel it, see where the business is, where are the opportunities, how can you get involved or not, right? This is what we want to talk about. So I want to give you feedback around this conference because I attended. It was 2 days, very intense here in Tangier. So we're not on our way back, and I want to do that, giving you four why, four response to four why. I believe that are critical, and I'm sure you'll be able to understand a little bit more around that. And obviously, if you have questions, don't hesitate to drop that in the comment box, and I'll make sure that I give you as much information as possible. Hopefully, that is okay. So the first why. So why this summit? First of all, the Regional Green Economy Forum. What is that? So what you need to know is the Regional Green Economy Summit is actually one of the flagship initiatives, the regional flagship initiative of an organization called the World Green Economy Organization. It was created on the back of the COP22. It was 2016. So obviously spearheaded by UAE and many countries just gathered around that. And the whole idea is very simple. It's about the green economy. We want to obviously promote that and show to the people that this is the direction of travel. And as you go there, there's a lot of business that you can do. The opportunity, there is a way for you to obviously support, boost your economic activities, and also make sure that you deliver not only better environment for your people, but also better economic prospect. That's what it's all about. That's what this organization it's actually doing. And it's great. I think you definitely want to be looking at that. Now, I was talking to one of the, I would say, colleagues who work for the organizations. I think is Jerome O'Shea. So Jerome, I'm sure you don't mind me mentioning you. And it was quite an interesting conversation because I asked him a question. So why are we doing all of that? He said very simple. Because we understood that, it's not just about talking to people about the impact of climate change, the disaster that it causes, and what they're going to see. Essentially, things that are doom and gloom. People don't react to that. What was important as well, it's to show to people the whole economic opportunities that are around that, to say that, hey, as we go in there, not only is the right thing to do, but guess what? There are fantastic potential there, fantastic opportunity that we need to seize. You can do business, you can do make a lot of money while delivering goods. And that's what you want to do. And that's what the World Green Economy Organization is here to do. And obviously organizing that event. So that is what we're looking to deliver in here. So, and that is very important because as you talk to those countries, you talk to those people, to those companies, if you're showing them how economically they can really benefit from that, guess what? it becomes a no-brainer. And now the environmental benefit just come on top of it. It just adds up, yeah, and everybody's happy, right? So that's what the summit is there for, and that's what this organization is there for. They're focusing primarily on that. So hopefully that is clear now. It's called the WGO, so World Green Economy Organization. Make sure that you obviously look for that on the Google. You type it, you will see there's lots of information there. They've launched a number of initiatives, like for example, the Global Alliance for the Green Economy, right? And that comes for me to the second question. And that second question, which is why Africa? Why do we do this event in Africa? First of all, what you want to know, that's a global organization, right? And the RGEF, it's the regional flagship initiative that they launched, right? So why Africa? Simply because now the organization, the WGO, when they got created, they had about 60 so member countries. Now they are 91. And 91, as you can see, it's gathering momentum. Why? Because obviously a lot more people want to be part of it. That's what I'm saying. Don't just look at the headline where some countries say they reject it. Some big countries say they don't want to go into it. That's fine. One way or another, they obviously find us along the way. But there are many other people already jumping the bandwagon and moving forward. So the green economy is there to stay and it's growing. Yeah. So there's 91 countries that say, hey, we want to be part of it. We want to see how we could collaborate and actually move forward. Yeah. So that's all about. So around those, the different initiatives that were actually launched, right? So they've selected 14 cities around the world that they supporting, through various programs, because the whole idea, right? Oh, that's what I had to also tell you. So this conference, which is the Regional Green Economy Forum, so it was also all about the main theme as well. It's to empower African cities and show them the path, towards carbon neutrality. Yeah, so that they can become carbon neutral cities. That's what it was all about, right? And I was saying that, coming back to my second why, so obviously why Africa. So around the various initiatives that the organization has launched, so they supporting cities around the world, and 14 cities that they're supporting. Out of those 14, there's 11 that are African. 11 of African, obviously it makes sense to have a regional forum, right? Just to engage with those cities, and that's what's happening. And also, as Cheryl was also saying, the great thing with African cities is actually it's almost a green field. Yeah, in a sense that if you go to the develop, and that's we should take it to advantage and make sure that we use it, because if you look at the developing world, so they so entrenched in the current way of life, so it's difficult for them to retrofit. So the continent of Africa, I see they are still growing. I see they still a lot to do. So there's basically room for maneuver there. And when we talk about leapfrog, it's not because we're jumping in something unknown. Yes, it's unknown, but we could create and make things work, make things better. Learn from the mistake that other people have done to say, hey, how can we design something much more sustainable, but guess what, as well, better? That's what we're talking about here. So if those many cities around the world that are supporting, 11 are African, it made sense to have it in Africa. And that's for me the second why. The first why I explained to you, obviously, why we have the summit. So it comes from the WGO, so WGO flagship initiative. That's what they brought it to Africa. Africa, 11 cities, that's fine. Now, you're probably going to ask me, okay, I understand why we have the WGO. We're going to create a green economy and need somebody to look after that, to make sure that we can gather some momentum and drive everybody towards it. That's great. We understand that you're supporting 14 cities, 11 are African. Okay, it makes sense to have something in Africa. By the way, that was actually the first edition in Africa, right? So that's great. That's good. So we need to be proud of it. So now, the third why is, why are we talking about cities, right? Again, great conversation I have with Jerome. I think it really opened my mind to so many things. Very simple. Is that most of the time before, what the organization has done, they have engaged, like many other organizations would do anyway, they have engaged at the country level, head of state, top executive, top officials, and it's great. We still need to do that. But as you can imagine, so when you do that at that level, it always comes with a level of complication, because at that stage, at that level, it's not that easy. There's a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of, I would say, different aspects at stake. You got to make sure that you get it right, and it can't move that fast, right? Because you need to move all that, and along the way, you have as well, government changing, policy changing. You have as well some, let's say, events happening, like for example, COVID, the Ukraine war, that sort of shape and change things, and also priorities. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why they decide to maybe have a different approach. So the second one, which is obviously much more interesting, is the fact that at the end of the day, two statistics that you may want to pay attention to. So from the global population, 55% of us live in cities. Yeah. And also, cities consume 70% of global energy. So obviously, the emission that comes with that. So it means that if we got to be attending our net zero target, right, or whatever target you set yourself from up onto, for emissions, right, you can't do without tackling the challenges around around cities. It always will come to cities. So you may as well obviously deal with that specifically, because if you deal with the city, you know that that's a way for you to make a big leap toward achieving your objective. That's what it's all about. So cities are so important, and also cities at the end of the day, that's how we live our life. That's where we live. That's where the majority of people are living. So go where they are and deal with them. Yeah. So this is the reason why we're going for cities. And the great thing with that, like I say, you're talking to cities, to local governments, so you're closer to the ground, closer to the people, closer to reality, and closer as well to making things happen. So there's a lot of reasons why it made sense to go at this, yeah, and that's fine. And that's for me the third why. You understand that obviously why this organization exists, why we're having the forum, why in Africa I've explained to you, why now we're having cities. So the fourth one, right? So it should be why Morocco? Why Morocco? I'm sure the first answer for you will be why not? Why not? Why not Morocco? So listen, I've said that before. I'm probably going to repeat myself. So if you're looking at the main countries in Africa that are pushing towards energy transitions, not shying away for putting renewables in front and moving forward with it. So Morocco gotta be in front of it, in front of everybody. I gotta say that, yeah. So this country, so this kingdom is doing fantastic work. Plus, don't forget, so Morocco has organized COP22, right? It was in Marrakesh and a sustainable city, and definitely it left behind a certain legacy that their country is proud to move forward. So yes, so Morocco has demonstrated leadership, like I say. So at the moment, if you're looking at the power generations, the power that they're getting from the country, 45% coming from renewable. They want to go to 52% by 2030. There's many other things that they want to achieve. They have 2 gigawatts of solar, 1.5 gigawatts of wind, about the same amount in pipeline, if not more. So they really, like I say, embracing the idea of energy transition. They definitely not backing down, right? So they're not afraid of that. So they're going forward. So they have become an exemplary country, put it that way. So it kind of makes sense with all those things that I mentioned that Morocco will be a great place to have this initial forum, right? I don't know where the next one will be, when it's going to be. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be an annual. Maybe it's going to be an annual thing. So that's, I don't know. I can't tell you. But yeah, so Morocco, for all those reasons, made sense. So this is the full why that I've explained to you. Now you understand obviously why we have the summit and why the regional, the WGO, RGEF. Yeah, you understand as well obviously why we chose Africa, so why the cities, and obviously why Morocco, right? So having said all of that, so did the summit deliver to its objectives? That's also another key question that could have. There's not a why, but it's good for me to give you the information. Listen, there were actually 5 objectives. I'm just going to run to that very quickly. So again, you can, if you have some debriefing and some feedback and also some paper they will release. So the first one was to facilitate the exchange of knowledge and also best practice among member countries. Yeah, I can tell you it has definitely happened. There were a lot of countries that were represented, I think about 30 plus countries, and then a lot of speakers, delegates. We're talking about altogether around 300 plus. So definitely it did happen. That I can confirm that. So the second thing was actually to enhance the capacity of city leaders and stakeholders in order for them to identify potential green and bankable project to suit their local requirement. Again, I believe that has happened because I particularly spoke to one mayor from Mozambique, Manuel. Manuel, if you're looking at me, so he was telling me to the event, first of all, was to learn more, listen to other people, share his experience, collaborate, and sort of, like I say, raise his ambition. When he go back now and he can talk to his people, he has more to say, right? Promote collaboration, partnership, go without say, right? With so many people are coming around. Like I said, this summit was happening in Morocco, but it wasn't just for Morocco, obviously, right? That was happening to the whole of Africa, like they represented, right? As well, coming from the UAE, obviously, from other part of the world. So, me, I think I mainly obviously live in the UK, although I travel across the continent to work. So the collaboration partnership, it did happen. So it was also about, which is the fourth one now, to catalyze inclusive, innovative, so public-private partnership. Yes, this also has happened. There was a number of discussions happening between public sector, private sectors, and we talked a lot about PPPs. Definitely was one of the few words in people's mouth. So yeah, it is happening. And the fifth one, very quickly, was to develop concrete plan and strategies. And that as well, I could say, Hamdi, that it has happened. It has happened as well. And what I'm gonna share with you just here, just a video very quickly, because I personally attended the signature of two MOUs. The first one was between the WGO organization and also uh, the I think Tangier, yeah, Tangier Osema Altetouan region. So I probably mixed up a little bit of the word there. So apologies if you're from the region, but there's one of the MOU signed, and the second one, which I'm going to be showing, it's obviously the signature between WGO and the Pan African Alliance for Private Sector for the climate transitions. Yeah, I'm mixing up a little bit of words here, but let me just show you that. That's better.
May we now invite everybody to congratulate the co-signatories with a round of applause. Thank you very much.
So that was actually the MOU that was signed, like I say, between the WGO and also Pan African Alliance for Private Sector for the climate transition. So that's what we had, and yeah, you sort of in the middle there. So yes, so that's an MOU. That for me, it's a concrete demonstration of how people coming together to say, hey, that's a concrete plan. Let's go. Now we want to know what exactly going to follow up. Yes, you can argue that it still needs to be developed. At least you get an idea. So this is me wrapping up. Apologies, I know there's been a little bit of a disruption from the videos. Apologies, like I say, so I may not have the greatest. It's quite windy out there, put it that way. May not have the greatest connection right now, but I wanted to make sure that I capture that before I wrap up and go back home and give you this. So yeah, this is it for the summit. And let me leave you. By the way, let me just say before I sign off, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, it's still time to do so. Leave your comments as well. Share with people that you know. And then I'm going to leave you in star. I'm just going to show you a short video again of one of the panels, because I think it's three panels. That's the first panel where we're talking about the renewable energy solutions 4 cities. And I was speaking at that panel. I'm just going to leave you with that. And after that, I'll see you next week, guys. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.
Some part of it when initially we talked about the blended finance. I see that for me as a cornerstone of a way to de-risk a project that we can take into an area where it wasn't able to take advantage before. It's all about how do you bring concession of money that you combine with private investment to make sure that you can take more of those projects and make them bankable. It's all about that. That's one aspect of it for me that is an enabler. So the second aspect is there's also, let's say, financial solution, for example, like pay-as-you-go model. And we've seen a lot of that in East Africa, for example, where by being able to create a mechanism whereby we could match people at the payment that they can make and remove the upfront cost, we were able to significantly